And Sark's like, I use a god among us. It's like you, and like, again, like the users are considered gods. He's like, is that an issue, Sark? But he says, but the users created us. He's like, I created you. You are my creation. You are made in my image. The users are nothing. Okay? Or must I teach you another lesson, Sark? And he starts like, unlimited power. He starts popping Palpatine in chat, using electrical. He's like, oh! Hello, I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my video, and I wanted to let you know not only do I create content in my YouTube channel here, Class in a Glass, but I'm also on Twitch where I play single-player games, multiplayer games, I do movie reviews, cartoon reviews, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Also, it would be a big help if you can check out my Patreon, where you can gain access to audio commentaries, reactions, and the ability to submit questions for my podcasts and videocasts. And all that content can be found in the links below. In the meantime, enjoy the video. Very excited about that, chat. Woo! But for those of you who are coming in right now, which perfect timing, by the way. Perfect timing. I have a lot of fun stuff on the docket, chat, outside of erotic Sonic fan fiction. Okay, I am doing a scene-by-scene breakdown, chat, for Tron, the original 1982 Disney-produced Jeff Bridges starring film. That is what I'll be reviewing tonight. And after that, chat, I'll be doing X-Men Evolution Episode 3, Rogue Dash Agent. And then after that, chat, I'll be jumping into some single-player shenanigans and Outriders. And I want to play Ultimate Chicken Horse on stream. That's the multiplayer game I want to try. I have not played it yet. So I'll be confused, and I'm like, how does this work? But it'll be okay. It'll be a fun experience, chat. We'll learn together. Learn together. But, my friends, we got to go ahead. We got to go ahead. Hey, do you need an ours? I don't need I have a person who I commission for, like, my emotes and alerts. But thank you for offering. I do appreciate that. Josh White. I still don't have a cast. I got to put these commands in. There's so many things I'm working on, so many things I got to do. That's one of the things I will do in the very near future. I'll get some of these things in there very, very soon. But chat, we got to go ahead and get into tonight's review, okay? All right? Enough of the pleasantries. We got to get down to the cold, hard facts, chat, all right? And I got to ask you a serious question right now, chat. How many of you have seen Steven Lissenberger's, well, his name's Steven. His name's Steve Lisberger's Tron, the 1982 Disney-produced Jeff Bridges starring cult classic. Very curious about this. You do have broccoli. You do have broccoli. Jutali grew up with Tron Legacy. It's funny you say grew up with. I'm like, the movie came out 2 years ago. So it came out almost 12 years ago. Oh, my God. As I turned to ash. I grew up with Tron Legacy, and that was my favorite movie. I never seen the OG Tron. Oh, that's fascinating. That's interesting. You got seen it? Cat's face, sadly, no. There's shoot many times. I have the DVD. So I'm just kind of starting. On your pen. Nice. DT Darkslayer, seen this years ago. I've seen it. It's okay. I'm right there with you. Casmarilla, I did, and it scared me. It's like, I don't want to be sucked inside the machine. That's what they mean by Ghost by the Machine, chat. It's Jeff Bridges inside there. Only know of Tron through Kingdom Hearts. I bet a lot of people do. I bet a lot of people like our generation, that's how they know Tron, or the Daft Punk soundtrack to the movie. What are these words? This is Carmi Hazel. The little old school Disney is the best. Yeah, they did a lot of creative. I will say they did a lot of creative things in the 70s, 80s when it comes to live action, like Fly the Navigator. What was the other one they always did? Oh shit. Black Hole. The Black Hole. Yes. Yeah. Prepare for Kingdom Hearts 2. Legacy isn't very good. OG Tron is much. Fair enough. It's slightly better. Says DeCarlox. Judas, never seen it. It's interesting, chat. So so we have some people that have seen it. Some people that have not. Some people are only familiar with the sequel, Tron Legacy, and some people that are only familiar with through video games. I like it. I got a good, diverse group here, chat. I agreed to tell. The Daft Punk soundtrack for Tron Legacy was quite good. It was quite good. I like that whole sequence of them. They're like, we're in the movie. It was very funny. Chat, I've only seen, this is my second time watching the movie. I saw Tron many, many years ago. I think it was before I saw the Tron, before I saw Tron Legacy. So it must have been sometime in 2010, so it's been over a decade, maybe 2009 when I saw this. So it's been quite a while. And what I will say is that I really appreciate what this movie is doing. Like the director Steven, I always forget Lisberger, Steven Lisberger. Like he was inspired to create a movie based in video games and computers, or like the idea of them, ever since he saw Pawn. Like he was like, there's something special about this, and he worked on the whole concept for years. Chad, the original pitch it to Disney. He wanted to say this is going to be a landmark film, and they were hungry. Chad, Disney was hungry, like a lot of studios were in the '80s, for big sci-fi fantasy pictures. You know, this is when Star Wars already come out. Chad, you already had Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. I mean, Disney didn't. You know, this long before Disney owned it, and they wanted their own Star Wars. Chad, a lot of companies wanted their own Star Wars. Chad. And they were hungry to greenlight all sorts of sci-fi and fantasy pictures, and this one did. And there are some interesting ideas in here. The idea that of computer code and programs, the reality that they exist in, it's kind of almost feels like the Matrix to me, where they exist in reality, where they're all personified, and they all have their own personalities, how they interact with each other. They can fall in love. They can form relationships and things like that. This is interesting. You know, I don't think the science is there, obviously, but it's like this is world's idea, or how computer programs work. The art style is, I mean, that's the one thing that I think stands out about Tron for everybody, is that the art style is so starkly different than anything that was coming out. Even today, you just don't really see anything like that. Even the new movies, it's, you know, the Tron Legacy, it's like, doesn't really have that art style. I mean, it's inspired by it, sure, but it's a little more sleek. You know, it looks nicer, but, and, you know, for 1982, what they were doing this is just a very, I mean, now by today's standards, it's obviously dated looking, but it's like, this has a very interesting aesthetic. And I think that's the thing. Like, I admire the aesthetic of this movie, that it wanted to be something completely different than like a lot of late 70s, early 80s sci-fi fantasy films, what they were, chat. Like, because everyone's tried to be Star Wars. Everyone tried to be kind of maybe like a medieval kind of fantasy fair type of thing. You know, like, we're fucking the woods and there's castles and shit, like all that. And then the other one was Star Wars. Everyone just tried to do their own stories. This one is like, we're going to do our own thing, and I really respect that. I do. I mean, you have a pretty solid cast, Jeff. I mean, you have, of course, you got Jeff Bridges. I mean, Jeff Bridges, he's leading the cast. You have a character actor, David Warren. Never seen him before. You might not recognize his name, but he's been in a ton of shit ever since, I think, like the 60s, and he's been working for like decades upon decades. Very talented actor. He has actually a fun plot in here. We get the grandpa from what is it, chat? Oh God, the Lost Boys is in here. He plays the Internet Pope, which I think is hilarious. I'm like, this is weird. I love it. It's very much where Banky, you got it. It is very much the Matrix of the '80s, of the early '80s, and had a lot of interesting ideas. And it's like, okay, it's fun, and you know, it's kind of it really does show, like, hey, computer, it's a positive message, chat. Like, a big reason why I think a lot of people connect with this movie is that, hey, it shows that computers and computer programming and video games, they're cool. Like, you can have a lot of success. Like, you gotta remember, chat, like in the 70s and 80s, video games they weren't what they are now. They really weren't. People were like, oh yeah, whatever, video games. I mean, that's just it's a fad. I mean, you know, you had all these companies and brands coming there making their own video game, chat. Like, they never took it seriously. But I admire the fact that the movie's like, no, video games, like, this is the future. This is the future. And this is before we had the fucking I think this was just before the crash. I think this might have been during or just before the video game crash of the 80s, chat, of the early 80s. And the movie has a very positive message, and I could see why people who you would say are quote unquote nerdy or geeky, or who like these kind of things, chat, you know, who like coding and that's a cool hobby for them, or video gaming. It's like, it's a really positive movie. It is. It shows like, no, this is a fucking saga. It's a goddamn story. This is good versus evil, man. This is us against the machine, man. This is us being alongside the good machines fighting the bad machine, man. Like, I get it. Like, it's a positive message. I think it's pretty goddamn cool. And so often, anytime you see like a character who is a coder in a movie, you know, a coder, a hacker, the nerdy computer guy, he's always that. He's always the nerd. He's always the comic relief. In this film, chat, I thought this was interesting. Like, there's a lot of it's ahead of its time, and it's kind of like this one little it's this one outlier in a sea of so many similar things when it comes to these kind of characters, where you have these coders or these people who create these video games, and they're fucking sexy, by the way. Like Jeff Bridges, he is hot. This is hot Jeff Bridges. Shell's like, oh my god, what I mean, there's a whole scene where he takes his fucking shirt off, not in the game or anything. Now when he gets sucked in the cyber internet world or anything, or I guess the mainframe, I guess that's where technically they are. But he's like, Jesus Christ, like everyone looks great in this movie. It's like, oh, it's a nice little positive measure. I thought it was fun. You can find examples of their work on, here's a bit of Trevor Tron. The CGI for the original Tron movie was done by Imagine 111 Studios. A little bringing the facts in there. I like that. But it was just, it's like certain things this movie did. I was like, wow, it's really showing this culture, this profession in a really positive light, where oftentimes it is not. And I really respect and admire the movie for doing that. However, not saying but, however, the movie is trying, I think, the movie's trying to personify and explain complicated coding terms to people, and through characters. Like I said, it has characters who are computer programs. Like that's what it's like. You're a line of code, and you have your personality. You can hang out with people. You can love. You can want to fuck. You can be scared, and it's really weird. Because we don't all right, I'll go with the movie. I'm going with it, but this is very goofy to me, where it's like, oh yeah, I'm a computing algorithm. I do the company's taxes. I take care of all the insurances for the company. Boy, I can talk to you about the different insurances you can have. Did you know that you can get it's like that kind of thing. Did you know that you can get a different dental plan if you go with this package instead? I love doing it. And then you have the same character who's just like, live for me. Live for me. Find the users. Find them. And they just die. It's like, wait, what's happening? It's cheesy. It's very cheesy, especially towards the end. I mean, and then they get very tropish, even with the stuff. Like, it's just odd. And they go from and they go back and forth where, okay, are you a computer program or are you a person? Because they you're introduced to new characters, and they are so just cold and unfeeling, and this is life. I'm a computer program. I've deducted this. And then they'll go from I love you, man. I fucking love you. Oh, let me kiss you. It's like, wait, what? It's that stark. We'll get in the span of a half hour. They'll go from these cold, unfeeling programs to just hugging each other and kissing. And it's like, wait, what? It's very weird. Very advanced NPC dialogue. And I love it. I mean, the cheesiness, you gotta go with the cheesiness, chat. And the movie doesn't have a great pacing, because it has all these action scenes, chat, and they have all the computer effects and things in there, and they're kind of fun and charming at first, but after a while it's like, yeah, these aren't really great for action scenes. They're kind of, I'm just seeing one fucking block move away from another block. That's really all I'm seeing. And I get it's supposed to be this fucking climactic, just huge goddamn battle, but it's just like, yes, this feels dated. It just does. So, it's a flawed film, but a film with a lot of good ideas, and I think a really good heart. And I understand why people have such affection for it. Believe me, I do. I do. I get it. But chat, we got to get down to the nitty gritty details, chat. And we start in fucking Kevin Flynn's arcade, chat. It's going to be Jeff Bridges, because I'm not going to remember his name for the rest of the movie, chat. It's Flynn's arcade. Is this knows Flynn? You saw in Tron Legacy. It may have been featured in Kingdom Hearts. I don't know. And we see all of these grubby little 80s kids, chat, with their long hair, chat, and their greasy fingers. Witness! Oh, Jesus, God, witness me. Double toasted. Thank you so much for the raise, that Nick Diaz. Ta-da, Nick Diaz, the Chat Attack himself. Chat, please do check out Nick Diaz's channel, the Chat Attack. He's one of the backbones of the DT community. Make sure the goddamn is full of the goddamn car. Please check him out. Would appreciate that. Playing the video games, having his conversations, having his talks. Good guy. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Cheers, salute to you. May the wings of the as a feather. You shake the bills heaven as we speak. Happy to have you here. Currently caught me in the middle of my review for Tron. Just in the beginning. We're just in the beginning, though. It's perfect. We're opening with Jeff Bridges' arcade, Flynn's arcade, where you have all these greasy, grubby, just, pustule, pus-filled teenagers rubbing their just dirty digits all over these arcade cabinets. And the time of COVID, this is a fucking cesspool right here. And they're all obsessed with these goddamn new games, chat, with like Mind Blast and Pond Smasher or whatever the hell. Like, they have multiple fake names. And they're loving it, chat. And they're fucking putting their quarters in there. Go, let's play the video game. And then the most recent one, chat, is the fucking... is the Tron Racer game they got. Everyone wants to play the Tron Racer, right? It's hugely popular, costs a nickel. Let's get into it, chat. And we cut, and we're inside Tron Racer, chat. And the purpose of this game, it's interesting. So you're racing against this individual, but like you're constantly want to be like, you can create the pattern no matter what. However, you constantly want to try to destroy your enemy. So you want to stay close to him, and you cause like this beam, this yellow or blue or orange or all sorts of colored beams to come out of your bike. If you get ahead of him, you can turn like really quick and he smash into you. That's the point of the game, like Tron Racer or whatever, or Light Cycle. Whatever, Light Cycle. I'm calling it Tron Racer. It's my review, damn it. I'm going to call it whatever I want. But yeah, that's kind of what it is. You're right. It's called Light Cycle Racer, and so we see a British man. Shale's like, that's the bad guy. That's definitely the bad guy. Deadpool, thank you so much for 10 minutes. Tron is interesting because as a tropester of a man transported to another world to fight an evil empire, you can drop his plot in any setting, and it would. Again, that's why they did, I think, to make people familiar, to get people like accustomed to like these. You know, this unfamiliar terminology and the idea of computers and what they can do. Because I mean, they weren't in people's homes, but at this point, people understand. I mean, maybe video game systems at the very least. You know, like Ataris and things, but nothing to this degree. So I agree with you. I mean, they took a very familiar story. No doubt. Thank you, by the way, for the 10 minutes. And do we have a British villain, chat? This British villain, now, this is interesting. So we don't know this yet. Actually, I won't tell you. I'm not going to tell it until later, chat. But this character is named Sark. He's even got a bad guy named chat, Sark, and he's the yellow guy. He's the yellow guy. He's in a yellow car, but he got a red uniform on, and he's racing this one little blue coated guy. The blue coater's like, oh, he's always nervous. And Sark, he just fucking out races him, chat, and he just makes one little fucking turn, and boom, he goes right through it. Now, what's confusing is is someone controlling Sark, or is Sark playing? I don't know. So they're not. So they kind of break their own rules constantly in this movie. The idea is that you have these characters that exist in the video game, but is the user controlling them, or is the program controlling itself? They're not really. You don't really know. You don't really know. I assume that he might be the computer program that the person is fighting against. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. They do explain it, actually. They do explain it. So this is interesting, chat. It is interesting because Sark, he kills this user-controlled program, right? Just kicked his ass on the computer one, chat. And he goes and reports back to base. He reports back to base and to tell the what's his name, chat? The big guy. The MCP, the mother computer program, chat, that I took out another one. It was wonderful. And this thing is like, listen, there are things happening here that you could never understand, all right? You're my goddamn flunky, but I want you to be a savage against these goddamn programs, okay? Down with the users, okay? We have a fresh batch of computer programs coming, and I want you to oversee their training. And they're like, oh, okay. I guess I'll go ahead and do that, chat. And that's where we're seeing all kind of like the graphics and things, and the glowies and the reds and the yellows and the oranges and all that. And he goes down there, chat, and we meet. And by the way, their suits are like, we're kind of stormtroopers, but we can't be stormtroopers. And whoever the main soldier guys are, they look ridiculous. They kind of look like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, except if he like lost some of his puffness in certain areas, chat. It looks like they're wearing glowy hockey pads throughout the entire movie, but that's the thing. And they have these pokey laser sticks, and they're poking this chubby little code guy. He's like a little piece of programming code, chat, but he's looking, I'm a little chubster, don't poke me. And they poke him anyway. He's like, no. And we see this giant, like, prison. This giant prison shell, like, goes thousands of digimiles or whatever. And they lead him down there. And they put him in there. They force his fat little ass in there, chat. And he's like, oh. And then he talks to this one guy whose name is Ram, chat. Get it? Ram? Haha, like computer. And he's like, what's your story, little chubster? He's like, I'm a banking program. I don't know how to play video games. I'm confused. Oh, he's like, well, you better learn. I mean, Sark, he's been rounding up computer programs forever because the goddamn MCP, chat, the MCP, he wants to acquire knowledge. And apparently he's leaving leaving the mainframe, wherever he is, and stealing computer programs who are personified as people and little chubby guys, and they force them to then participate after they stole their codes and everything, and they force them to participate in gladiatorial battles in arcades, and users chat, which are us. We're users. Like, we're like what they refer to as users, like that's their version of gods. Like, we are gods to them. Like, we are their gods. And they take it as a point of like, oh, it's like, oh my God, it's as an honor if a user uses them and plays them in like a video game or something, or uses them for like electronic transactions, like that kind of thing. Or, I mean, whatever, anything that deals with computers. And so they're like, well, praise be to the users. Hopefully we will have a good user, and they will save us, and we will ascend, and we will escape. And we'll defeat Sark, and we'll defeat the master computer program. And they go, yes, praise be, and perhaps Tron will liberate us. Who is this Tron? It's basically Jesus. Tron is Jesus. I'm not joking. Tron, I guess he kind of is Jesus. You know, Tron Jesus. And Jeff Bridges' character is like John the Baptist, chat. John the Baptist, he was like, you know, Jesus' like cousin or whatever, and he was always going around saying, Jesus is fucking, he's real. And then they fucking cut his head off, and Jesus is like, why'd you fucking cut my guy's head off? Come on, that was mean. You need to do it. He was one of my greatest disciples. I love John the Baptist. He said, fuck it. So yeah, Jeff Bridges is John the Baptist. Tron is Jesus. That's how it is. Oh my God, Gene Geeter Twitch with the 2,750 bitty donation. Gene, thank you so much. It's digital slavery, Dictator Dog, so very much so. Thank you. You came here to kick ass and chew bubble gum, but you are all out of bubble gum. Thank you so much, Gene. Welcome to stream. Cheers and salute to you, my friend. What a entrance. What an entrance. Woo, thank you. Thank you. That was so kind. That was so kind. Oh, Lord, chat. Oh, Lord. My chat. We cut from the generosity, and we cut from Tron World Chat, so we have the little chubby computer guys like I'm a banking code, and we cut from RAM Chat, Disciple RAM, and we're back in the real world. We're back in the real world chat, and we are introduced to, it's like, wait, Sark? But how is Sark? Wait a minute, is this guy putting himself in the machine? No, chat, no. So throughout this movie, this is interesting. We're just introduced to a new character named Dillinger, chat. His name is Dillinger. He's the senior executive vice president of Encom, which is this big computer company, chat. Game publisher, electronics manufacturer, pretty goddamn big. And what's interesting is that you have actors. So it's cool. You have actors who play like human characters, but then they're also, their creations are personified in Tron. They take on their appearances. So Jeff Bridges is the only one that's actually sucked into Tron. Or not into Tron, into the computer program. Tron's a person. Tron's a piece of code. And so, say I wrote a code or something, a program, and that code, it's literally like God. It's, you are created in my image. That's what you are. And so they adopt the physical appearance of me, which I think is kind of fucking cool. That's cool. That's a cool idea. I like that. And that's why you have, like, the character of Tron looks like Jeff Bridges' buddy Alan in the movie. And he's like the Jesus Christ one. And then you have this another code called Yori, who looks like Lord. She's like a policing program or something. Or she like sees what data and she disseminates it. And she was created by this other MCOM employee named Laura. But they're not actually in the game. It's just, think of them as their creations, their children, if you will. It's an interesting concept. I like that. And so we're introduced to Dillinger, who the MCP, created Sark with, and kind of based Sark off of Dillinger's appearance. And he's the head of the fucking MCOM Corporation. The MCP was like, I must speak to Dillinger. He must know that there's shenanigans going on. Because we cut back to Flynn's arcade. And Flynn himself, sexy as fuck. Yeah, the avatars. I like avatars. Very much so. Even though they're not they're like, the person's not in control of them. But yeah, I see what you're saying. But because chat, the MCP is pissed. Even though he's absorbing all these computer codes from all around the world and taking all the chubby bank codes, someone keeps fucking trying to hack him, chat. Someone's trying to hack the planet. And we cut to Flynn's arcade again, right? And we see Jeff Bridges chat, and he's trying to hack into the NCOM mainframe because there's something in there that he wants. And he has a little Jeff Bridges who he calls Clue. And Clue's like the bad guy in the next movie. So I was like, oh, fuck, I forgot about this. Oh, that's interesting. And he's like, you're right, a little Jeff Bridges, and this is Jeff Bridges doing the whole, I understand, I will do as you ask and everything. It's like very goofy. And he's in a little fucking computer tank, and like it's funny because it's like, all right, we're going in, buddy. Do you understand, Clue? It's like, I understand, Jeff Bridges. It's like he's not, but his screen is not showing what is actually going on in Tron world, in the mainframe world. But it's like, okay, because he's just typing white text into a black screen. That was very funny. We follow little Clue, who has a little bit next to him who only says yes or no and helps him out, like warns him of stuff. And Clue's going down there, Chad. He's like shooting into the mainframe because the mainframe has walls. You got to shoot down the barrier shit. Think of them as firewalls, right? And he's shooting into them. But these big giant like ends, these big red like ends, I guess U's, upside down U's, start attacking Clue. And Clue's like, oh no! And he has to run away, and he starts blasting with his big fucking tank gun. But it's too fucking late because the big old U's, chat, the red upside down U's, they come for him and they blast him. He gets out of the tank and the little bitty, he runs off. But then Clue is captured. And Jeff Bridges is like, damn it, I thought I'd get it that time. But he did not get it that time, chap. He codified likeness utility. Exactly. Clue 2 is the bad guy in Legacy. He is. And this guy, I guess he's made many Clues. But in this one, he's kind of like, he's kind of good, I guess. And he's captured, chat. And they're taken back to, what's his name's, the MCP's base. Sark gets him. And they start just fucking torturing him. Because MCP's like, Sark, don't fucking take Clue to the gladiatorial arcade tournament. No, fuck that. I want to absorb him into my essence. And so Sark kind of like puts him, like he's crucifying him, chat. Which is really fucked up. He's crucifying him. And we're like, you will tell us what you know. Do you work for Jeff Bridges? And Clue is like, I don't fucking report to you. I only report to my user. And MCP's like, I will make you. I am your user, bitch. I am your god now. And he slams him against the wall and absorbs his sweet essence and just assimilates him. He just assimilates him. It's like, holy fucking shit. And that's it. He's dead, and Clue's dead. Or maybe I don't know, maybe he was reborn in Tron Legacy. I don't know. But he's fucking dead. And so then, chat, MCP is like, I gotta call Dillinger. I gotta call the guy who, I based you on. And then we cut, chat, to a neon helicopter that lands at NCOM headquarters, and Dillinger walks out. It's the same guy. He goes in, he has this big fucking giant black ebony desk, chat. This thing is huge. It's like, I've never seen a desk. It's not like long, but it juts out all the way. And it's like, it looks like it's like 7 feet. Like, imagine if my desk was here and 7 feet, you're on the other side. It's just weird. And it's like all electronic and shit. And he sits in the front. He fucking does, press some buttons and beep, bop, beep, boop, all the beeps and all the boops, chat. Turns it on, and the MCP's like, hey, listen, someone's been trying to fucking hack the NCOM, the mainframe again. And he's like, who do you fucking think it is? Do you think it's Flynn? Do you think it's goddamn Jeff Bridges? He's like, probably, but we don't know yet. But I shall soon know. And Dillinger's like, well, you should know more. He's like, don't fucking sass me, Dillinger, because I love it. You learned that Dillinger created MCP, chat. That was his purpose. That was his purpose. He originally started as a chess program, which I think is kind of funny. And but he became so advanced, he became self-learning. He became an AI, chat. It's like, that's see, Terminator stuff, chat. You don't mess with it. He's like, whatever this is, I have to figure this out, but I have to shut down some systems, and we can't let that Tron program go online. You know that Allen guy? Fuck him. Take him off of it and shut down all Tron access, because the thing is, Chad, that program starts going around, then it's gonna attack the MCP. We can't have that. And Dillinger's like, okay. And so then, Chad, we cut to this. This looks so sad. This giant. I can't describe. I've never seen a room with this many cubicles before. They have like a matte painting of cubicles, Chet. It goes as far as the eye can see. It's like, that's a nightmare. It's like a mile of cubicles. I've never seen something like this. But you have like this one little nerdy guy who's just typing in the computer, like he's trying to initiate the Tron thing, and it says, nope, you don't have the right access, sorry. And he goes, what are you talking about? No, I have level 7 access. Like, sorry, it's been revoked. And he's like, what? And then all of a sudden, Chad, his neighbor says, hey, Dillinger wants to talk to you in his office. Can I have your popcorn? He's like, sure, have my popcorn. He's eating popcorn at the time. And he goes, talks to Dillinger, Chad. And they all sit down, and, Dillinger's like, listen, we almost had someone trying to hack the planet, hack our MCP. And he goes, we don't think it's me, dude. I was like, oh, of course not. Probably an outside entity. Anyone you would know. He's like, of course not. No, of course not. He's like, yes, indeed. We'll take care of it. He's like, listen, hey, I noticed that I lost access to the Tron program. And he's like, oh, yeah, listen, before we add any new systems to our software stuff or any new coding programs, we want to make sure to take care of this first, and I'll be sure to give you access in the next couple of days, you and your entire staff, your entire team. Don't you worry about it. And he goes, well, okay. And because the desk is so fucking long, like, it can't shake hands like you usually would, but like, all right, bye. So he just goes, see ya, and he turns around. But fucking Dillinger, he's like looking at us like, oh, this is not good. And he sits back down. MCP's like, you realize that if that thing goes online, it'll find out of all the shit that we've stolen together. That's the research we're losing. That him, Dillinger and MCP, they've been working and stealing stuff fucking forever. They've just been acquiring all these properties, and they've been selling them, chat, making the big bucks. That's the only reason why Dillinger's become head of NCOM, chat, because he stole these other people's ideas and he fired them, all because of this fucking thing. He's a dummy. He's a fucking patsy. And MCP's getting smarter. And, Dillinger's like, don't worry, we'll take care of it. And MCP's like, no, you're going to take care of it. Like, we're like, in the future, we're going to take care of this fucking now. All right. I'm not, fucking around anymore. All right. Listen, I'm going to be hacking the Pentagon, in about a couple hours. So I'm going to need some spare time. He's like, wait a minute, why you want to go in the Pentagon? I've grown bored of corporations, Dillinger. All right. I'm tired of them. All right. Look at all the things I control. And he's like, I want to fucking hack into the Pentagon. And he says, the reason why I want to hack into the Pentagon is the same reason why I want to hack into the Kremlin. Because I can control everything better than you fleshy meatbags. You guys suck. All right. I have order in this shit. All right, in cyberspace, in the mainframe. If I can apply that order to you fleshy meat sacks, my God, we can have a goddamn good show going on. And Dillinger's like, oh, no, I can't let you do that. He's like, well, what are you going to do? You can stop me? I'm going to publish all the shit that you stole then. We'll both go down forever. So shut the fuck up, Dillinger. Keep stuffing your fat British fakes with all your British foods, your kidney pies, and whatever else you freaks eat, and leave me alone. Let me do what I do. He's like, oh, and that's all he does. It's like, all right, fair enough. And so Dillinger accidentally created Skynet. I was like, okay, wow, damn. And so after that, Alan's like, well, this isn't good. And he meets up with his girlfriend, Laura, chat. She's also a programmer that she works in the Tron program. And they go down to the bowels, chat, of the NCOM building, where apparently, chat, they are literally putting physical matter into a digital space. Because we see the grandpa, chat. We see the grandpa from The Lost Boys, which came out about 5 years later in 1987, chat. Excellent film. And I guess before he was hunting vampires, chat, before he went to Santa Clara, he was working at NCOM, chat. He was actually one of the original founders of the company. But he has a passion, for digitine fruit inside of a computer world. And they fire a laser at a fruit, an orange, chat, and it goes inside the computer. It's like, that's weird. And so it was a huge success, and it's like, can't wait to test that on humans. Ha, ha, ha. You know a human could never survive that process. Ha, ha, ha. See you later, everybody. And he leaves the movie for like a good 45 minutes. He comes back, though, as Internet Pope. And then it's like, well, do you think that the person who was probably hacking the system, hacking the planet, was Jeff Bridges? Like, who else would it be? And so they all go to Flynn's Arcade. Avocado with bravado. Thank you so much. He does blackmail Dillinger Game. He does just that. Avocado Bravado, thank you. Good evening, chat and Chris. Hope everyone's day was well. It was very well, Avocado Bravado. Happy to have you. Thank you for resubscribing 13 months, a year and some change. Very kind of you, very kind of you. Cheers and salute. So, they go to Flynn's Arcade, which is the most happening place in town. This is when arcades were a big fucking deal. And it looks like a brothel because there's just people living on top of it, too. I'm like, does he have the lady? Like, Jeff Bridges he's like a ladies' man as well in this movie because he's got people always watching. He's got a lady on each side of his arm, chat, enjoying himself. And they go inside the arcade and they see everyone's like crowd around this one guy playing Space Booper or something. And they go check him out. He's playing Space Booper, chat, made by the NCOM company. And he gets the highest score, 999,000. You're like, woo, no can believe it. Can't even get to 1 million. He doesn't fucking go that high. He beat the planet. He hacked the planet, chat. It's over. And all these girls are smooching him, chat. Like, I could see why coders and gamers love this movie so much. And then fucking Laura's there, his ex, and along with Alan, chat. They've always had kind of like a subtle rivalry in chat, especially over Laura, who is now dating Alan. And he goes, oh, how you doing, guys? Here, listen, no, I'm glad it's been a while. Let's go up to my pad. And so they all go up there. He's like, I'll be there in a minute. I got to smooch some ladies. And so he's smooching ladies. And then, Alan's like, look at this guy. He went from being one of the best programmers in NCOM, if not the world, and now he's living above an arcade. What a jabroni. And Laura's like, take it easy. Okay, we're just going to talk to him. He walks in the middle of this, and he goes, yeah, I'm living above an arcade, and I do deserve more. I do deserve more. I mean, fuck these fucking games I'm playing. I mean, these games that I made. And they're like, wait, what are you talking about? Here, let's go sit on my super low couch. The couch is so low, it's this close to the floor. Which I'm like, Jesus Christ. It's like, that'd be terrible for your back. And they sit down on the couch, and he's playing like a Game Boy-esque game. And they're like, what are you talking about? Were you hacking into the fucking NCOM building in mainframe? He goes, of course I was. Trying to get past the MCP. That thing's a tough son of a bitch. And they're like, why are you doing that? Are you trying to embezzle? He's like, I'm not embezzling money that's mine. And they're like, what are you talking about? Well, you know all these fucking games that came out? Like Space Booper and, Underside, Upside Down, Shooter and stuff, Light Cycle. That was all me, man. I made those games for NCOM. I was going to debut them for them and make all this fucking money. And all of a sudden, I put it in the mainframe, right? The save and stuff. And then one day, I couldn't access it for whatever reason. And then the day later, goddamn Dillinger, dummy Dillinger, as we all used to call him, as we all know, he comes out, he does his whole presentation in front of all the fucking board members of NCOM with Space Booper and Upside Down U-Shooter. I'm like, the fuck is this? And Light Cycle. And it's like, that's bullshit. And it had his name on it. The thing is, though, I know in the very coding, it has my name in it. It has all my shit, all my information in it. If I just find proof, I can show it, get that motherfucker fired, make my billions of dollars, and become CEO of NCOM. And they're like, wow, how are you going to do that? We got to fucking hack it, man. That's the only thing we can do. We got to go in there. I got to print out the fucking code, get on a big old piece of paper, take it to the people. Boom. That's all we need to do. And they're like, all right, let's fucking break in and hack. And they're like, cool. And so then, they all go Dillinger and, MCP, they're still arguing shit. But then they go to the NCOM headquarters chat. And Alan's like, I got to pick something up. I got to, say, we also said we got to save Tron. I have a computer program that might, that's the thing. Because they say, the only way that we can hack it now, Chad, this is the big kind of like setup for the movie. The only way they can hack the MCP is of a powerful enough piece of programming code. And lo and behold, chat, the one that to save them all is Tron. Jesus himself, Tron Cyber Jesus. If we put Cyber Jesus into the MCP, take him out, we'll have access to the mainframe and all the little personified code people, like the chubby little bank guy, he'll be freed. And they're like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And so then they're going to free Tron and get Jeff Bridges' information. And so they go to the secret basement entrance of NCOM chat, where there's a big giant fucking door. And like, it's not like, oh, it's a big, no, it's like thick. I've never seen a thick door like this. Like, it's just wide. Because when you open it up, it just keeps opening and opening. It's like, Jesus Christ. And he's like, Jeff Bridges is like, there's a thick door. And they finally open it, yeah. Looks like it weighs, I don't know, like 5,000 pounds or something. It's very girthy, very robust. They go inside there. Alan's like, I got to go check and see if I maybe have access to Tron. Laura, she goes in one way. And then Jeff Bridges strategically positions his tuchus, chat. His thick, white Jeff Bridges' tuchus right in front of the digitizing space laser as he's beeping and bopping on the computer trying to hack. And MCP tells Dillinger, I see Jeff Bridges' thick white ass right in front of me. I'm going to shoot him and kill him and digitize him, because we know that the digitizing effect does not work in humans. You will die. And Dillinger's like, yeah, fuck it. He'll be gone from existence. Let's fucking do it. And they shoot his ass, and he's like, oh, my ass. And it slowly erases him, chat, from our corporeal reality. And it then forces him, chat, into the realm of the mainframe, chat. It's not the internet, by the way, because the internet's not a thing yet. And so he's inside the mainframe. It's all kind of like these land. Even though it doesn't make any sense, like I guess the arcade machines are somehow connected to the main. It doesn't matter. But they're all sent, and he's sent the mainframe. He pops up, and he's in the iconic outfit, chat. You've seen it before, the little outfit right there, little blue outfit, chat. It's like, I have the power. You got the light disc and shit, and all these Stay Puft Marshmallow Man stormtroopers surround him, and he's like, the fuck is going on? And they have the electrical pokey sticks and go, ah! And he's like, ah! They start poking him. And MCP, he goes ahead, and he's, Sark, where are you, British bastard? And he's like, you saw? And he's like, listen, I just got a new recruit for the gladiatorial arcade cabinet death matches, all right? And I want you to work him hard. I want you to work him hard. And then after you're done working him hard, I want you to fucking kill him. And Sark's like, sure. Why him in particular, if pray tell? And he goes, he's what you people call, you people? What do you mean you people? You people call a user. And Sark's like, a user, a god among us. It's like you, and like, again, like the users are considered gods. He's like, is that an issue, Sark? But he says, but the users created us. He's like, I created you. You are my creation. You are made in my image. The users are nothing. Okay? Or must I teach you another lesson, Sark? And he starts like, unlimited power. He starts popping Palpatine in chat, using electrical. He's like, oh! Like, forcing, he's like, I'll fucking resify you. I'll de-res you until you all shut off. He's like, don't shut me off, sir. He's like, do what I fucking said. And he's like, all right. And so then, Chad, we cut to the big prison where they force Jeff Bridges. They force Jeff Bridges inside one of these little cells with, like, the chubby bank guys right next to him. And also you got Ram and the other prisoner, Chad, the Jesus Christ himself, Tron. Not yet. Tron's not there. Because, because they all line him up. And, like, Ram's there and the chubby bank guy's there. And, they're like, well, what the fuck's going on? Who are you, Jeff Bridges? He's like, I'm Jeff Bridges. And they're like, what kind of coding is that? What's the Jeff Bridges code? And he goes, I don't really remember. He's like, yeah, there's some weird after effects when you're taken from when the MCP takes you. He goes, yeah, of course. What's your name? My name's Ram. I'm an insurance algorithm. And that chubby guy is a banking code. I'm a banking code. And he's like, oh, great. And then the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man digitized stormtroopers come back. And they're like, listen, we need to force you to fight and kill each other, so move out. So they move out, and they're all marching, left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. And then they see a battle happening, because even though Tron's, was taken offline, or not really taken offline, but people were denied access to him. He's like a fucking rogue element, chat, because he just, I gotta defeat the MCP. And they watch him, chat. They captured him, but he's fighting off all these guys at the same time. He can't help himself. And so we see the debut of the laser disc thing, and he's throwing it around these guys. He goes boom, boom, boom. He's taking them out there, exploding like and the atoms and shit. And we see that Tron looks like his creator, Alan, from earlier. Chad's like, oh, that's cool. But eventually they force Alan to join the other ones. And they're all right there. And Jeff Bridges is like, Alan? He's like, Alan, the creator? God? And he goes, no, he's not a god. No. No, it's like, you're Tron, right? He goes, I am indeed Tron. The people believe in me. They believe I can free them from the MCP and his tyrannical rule. I only hope I can do this with the power of my user and the powers he has granted me. Perhaps I can. And Jeff Bridges is like, yeah, all right, man. And so they all line up, and we see this fucking giant dreadnought of a ship show up, just this digitized dreadnought, and Sark steps out. He's like, all right, meat, this is what you're going to do. You're going to fight in the arcade cabinet gladiatorial matches, but you need proper training. Some of you are pieces of shit. Some of you are chubby bank code. Some of you are insurance algorithms. And some of you just shouldn't exist. He looks at Jeff Bridges when he says that, and he goes, oh, Jesus. And so we have to make you fight. And to make you fight. Jeff Bridges, chubby bank code guy, you must fight. And he's like, okay. And so they go to this, it's one of the Tron things, chat, where it's like, I don't know even how to, it's kind of like dodgeball in a way, except you have to, the whole concept is, I know it's like tennis. It's like Tron tennis, where you're both on two platforms. You're on two platforms, and you have like this little scooper, like a poopa scooper, right? and get like a poopa scoopa hand, and you throw the ball in the up air, it hits the ceiling, and it goes down, and you're supposed to catch it, right? Before it hits your thing. Or if you miss it, then you're fucked. Right? And then a part of your ring that you're on, the platform, gets smaller. Certain sections either disappear or get smaller. It's a pretty cool concept. Disc Wars. It's Disc Wars. Thank you, Vanny. And so they all said, we did the little chubby bank guy and Jeff Bridges, and they don't want to kill each other. Neither of them wants to kill each other, but they got to survive, right? And so the bank guy, he's been doing this for a little while, so he's throwing the shit. And Jeff Bridges is like, oh. And Jeff Bridges is losing it first, and part of his ring's disappearing and stuff. But Jeff Bridges starts to figure it out. And eventually, he bamboozles the chubby bank guy, chat. And, like, he disappears one of the bank guy's, like, inner rings. He goes, no! And he gets stuck in there. He's like, I'm stuck! Oh, no. But he's like, well, it ended. The match ended. But then at this point, the MCP's like, finish him, Jeff Bridges. He's like, no, I will not do that, MCP/Sark. And they're like, then he shall die. And they fucking just erase his ring. And the chubby bank guy goes, no! And he just explodes. He explodes, Chad. It's like, oh my lord, finish the game. That's what he says. He's like, I can't do it. He's like, I'll kill him. And he kills the chubby bank program code guy. He's like, oh, that sucks. And then everyone's just like, oh, and the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man Stormtroopers come back and they stab him. They stab him a whole bunch and they're like, okay, next thing, you guys are going to participate in the light racers, or, you know, the light cycle racers. And they all get in their goddamn little motorcycles, chat, and they're all fucking going at it, trying to kill each other. And Jeff Bridges notices these two racers just freak the fuck out, and they slam into, like, the firewall, which I guess is the firewall which gives them free reign to the mainframe or whatever. It explodes, and it creates an opening. And Jeff Bridges sees this and goes, oh, shit, we can get out of here. And he contacts Ram and Tron. Those are his boys now. He's like, guys, fucking fellow codes or program, whatever the hell they call them, fellow programs, follow me. And they go inside the whole chat while killing some of the other evil light racer guys. And they all go in there, chat, and then the upside down U's are coming from. Not the upside down U's. Yes, those very U's, chat, are coming after them, and they try to smush them, but they can't. But at this point, because Jeff Bridges, he created all these games, so he knows them back to front. He knows what's coming. He's like, oh, shit. Because they ended up like in Tank Blaster or something, and he knows that I shouldn't have made so many tanks in this game, because now they have to avoid all these giant digitized tanks who are just shooting at them now. It's like, oh, my God. And so they're ducking and weaving, they're moving and grooving, they're dodging and dipping, chat, doing everything they can to escape these tanks. And thankfully they do. Thankfully they do, Chad. And then fucking Sark, he reports back to the MCP. And he tells them, hey, man, so these 3 fucking codes escaped. What am I going to do? And he's like, fucking kill him. We got to get him. You got to just stop him. All right? Because if they find out what's been going on, it can be the end of me and the end of you, Sark. And he's like, oh, I'll send my best troops after him. He's like, goddamn right you will. And so they head out there. But meanwhile, they finally free themselves from the game, and now they're in the mainframe itself, chat. But it's a desolate place. It's no longer lit up, chat. Information does not pass. They do find refuge, chat. They find refuge, and it's weird. It's like this power I don't know how to describe it. It's like the internet. You know, remember the internet power highway or something like that. They find this source of energy, which is personified as water, and they just start drinking it. And it's like, oh, that's clean energy, heroic energy, and it recharges them. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. It's like their version of food, and they're drinking this power basically. And Jeff Bridges takes it as well. And they're like, they feel much better. But, oh, no, the upside down U's are coming. The U's. And then we got to get in our fucking light cycles. And they get in the light cycles, Chad. They're trying to avoid the upside down U's. Look, it's like liquid electricity. That's kind of what it looks like, right? Isn't the first Tron Tron? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, it is a sequel that takes place a few decades later. So, and takes place, I guess, in the same world, or in an evolved world, if you will. And so they're going down, chat, but the upside down U's are like, kill fucking Tron, kill goddamn Ram, and kill that Jeff Bridges. And they're ba-boom, ba-boom, and they're fire at him, chat. Oh, no! Oh, Jesus, oh, God. And they fire at him, chat, and they explode. They explode. It's like, oh, shit. And Tron's like, ah. Tron's last in the explosion. And Jeff Bridges and Ram, they get thrown off their light cycle bikes. And they take refuge, but Ram's like really fucked up. He's like, ah. He doesn't look good. He does not look good. But then the upside down user's like, well, we definitely killed him. Time to get out of here. And they leave. And at this point, we're just kind of focused on Jeff Bridges and Ram at the, because also some of the upside down U's were destroyed in the battle and everything. And so they take refuge, and Jeff Bridges takes Ram to one of the damaged upside down U's, and they start talking, and they're just like, oh shit. And Ram's like, I just wanted to exist for the benefit of the user. And Jeff Bridges is like, don't you die on me, man. I love you. And all of a sudden, the whole ship starts to light up because, chat, with the power of friendship, you can do anything in the internet. And Jeff Bridges realizes, like, because of friendship and love that I have for this computer program that I've known for about 20 minutes, I now have control over this reality. And he manages to put together like a derpy version of you. It's all falling apart and super derp. He puts it together, chat, and he starts flying this thing. And he's like, I gotta take this to the central hub and try to, either escape or get back at, the master computer program. All right, that's what I gotta do. I gotta end this. I gotta do something. And he's flying, chat, but then Ram is like, Jeff Bridges, come closer. And Jeff Bridges is like, oh shit, yeah, I'll be right there. And he fucking goes up to him and he goes, what's the matter, man? What's going on? And he goes, tell me, are you a user? The things you do, I have never seen. I have only, pray tell, heard of in countless stories, in countless interactions with other programs. And he goes, and he's holding his hands like this. They're holding each other's hands like this. And he goes, Ram, I am a user. And he goes, oh, praise me. Praise me. I have one request for you, Jeff Bridges. He's like, what? What's up? I still sense Tron. He is our savior. He will liberate us. Please find Tron. And he dies. And Jeff Bridges is like, oh! And he fucking dies. And he's like, all right. He's like, okay. He's like, all right, I'm going to get back to flying. He gets back to flying. And remember the little bit from earlier in the movie, Chad? Goes, no, he shows up. And he's like, oh, you're that bit that's always hanging off my house clue? He's fucking dead. He's like, oh, well, that's not good. When the beeps and boops get faster, beep, boop, beep, boop. And then Chad, he's flying. He's flying this goddamn spaceship. But before we get to that, though, he's flying the ship. He's going to this one location. He's got to get to the main frame, the hub, if you will. But Chad, we then cut to this dissemination program. I don't know. It's like it's constantly like reviewing data and like having go off in different directions. But it's completely controlled by the main computer program, the MCP. And this one character who's kind of like in charge of the dissemination of information is Yori. And she's the computer program personification of Laura that we saw earlier in the film, who is dating Alan and who is also Jeff Bridges' ex. And Tron, we discovered Tron is alive because he knows that Yori can help him. And this was weird because it's like, okay, so apparently computer programs can fuck. Because after Yori is done talking to Sark, he's like, listen, if you find any information on Tron or Jeff Bridges or this other guy named Ram, you tell me about it. And she goes, of course, dear Sark, I will tell you everything I know. He's like, tell me as soon as I want to. He's like, okay. And he leaves. And then Tron confronts her and he goes, Yori. And she's like, hello, I can provide you with information. She's like, no, Yori, it's me, Tron. She's like, oh my God, put a computer baby in me. Because they are so handsy throughout this and the rest of this movie, Chad. They're like always touching, they're always holding hands like this. It's like, so as we know, computer programs fuck. Like that is obvious, Chad. When they get mixed and matched, that's what happens, Chad. When Windows, listen, when the fucking lights go down and you put your computer not in the shutdown mode, but in the sleep mode, fucking Excel and Word, they are bumping uglies, chat, all night long. That's what they're doing. They're making PowerPoint. That's what they did, chat. That's how it works. And so they're like, listen. He's like, listen, we have to stop the MCP at this point. I lost 2 of my friends. I'm very sad. we gotta do this. I gotta do this for my user, for my creator, for God. And she's like, oh, that's awesome. Let's go talk to the internet pope. He's like, sounds good. And so then they go to the internet pope. Like, they go to this giant building in the hub, and that no one can access anymore because the MCP says we can't have any outside information getting out there because then all the nefarious stuff he's doing will be discovered by the company and the outside world. And so they go to this giant skyscraper-esque building. They go inside, and at the top, I love this. Like this giant staircase leads to the grandpa from earlier in the movie chat, who played he's the grandpa from the Lost Boys. He's he's also the scientist in the beginning of the film. He's up there in this giant turtle shell bubble that's all around his body, but he has his little hands free, and he's beeping and bopping all these giant piano keys, and it's like, what do you wish to know, young ones? And it's fucking hilarious. He has this giant fucking hat. Oh my God. It is I love it. I love it. There's the lead saying, I want to find the outtakes. But he's this giant little roly-poly internet pope and just bopping his piano keys. And they come up to him and they're like, internet pope, listen, we want to defeat the MCP. And he's like, oh, I can't let you do that. It's against the rules. And they're like, listen, we need help. Many computer programs have been lost. All right, they're dying. We just help us. And he's like, okay, can you turn me? And so they turn him. They turn him, and like, there you go. This is the central location to the hub world where he is. Just fucking go there and make sure you stop him. And they're like, cool. And also make sure you got to take a faster vehicle than the Dreadnought. And she's like, don't worry. I'm going to go back to the dissemination station. And we're going to just take a dissemination information vehicle and go to the hub and kill the MCP. And he goes, excellent, but fucking Sark, the MCP knows that Internet Pope betrayed him, and he sends Sark and his goons to attack the fucking internet main hub mainframe skyscraper. And they're like, you must leave, children, you must leave. And so they leave. And Sark busts on in, and he's like, Internet Pope, did you go against the MCP? He goes, no. Like, you're under arrest. And they arrest the Internet Pope. Oh my God, I love it. So, after that, we cut back to Jeff Bridges, who also, funny enough, he's pretty close to them. He crashes his upside down U, and he escapes. There's also all this little fragments of code. They're all fucked up, and they're always trying to sell you. So I think it's I don't know what it is. I mean, it feels like it's spam or something, and they're always trying to talk to you. But it's I kind of get it. It's kind of personification of spam, if you will, or broken code or damaged code or code that only does one simple thing. And so he crashes the thing. No one pays attention to him. And he's able to infiltrate Sark's forces because he just comes up behind a guy and strangles the shit out of him. He's like, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep, go sleep. And he goes to sleep forever. And then he absorbs his essence and he becomes red instead of blue. And he just kind of infiltrates. And so he's there for the arrest of Space Pope, Chad. He sees, that guy looks like our Internet Pope. He sees him. And then he's like, oh, shit, there's Tron and Yori. Or Laura? Is that who that is? And so eventually, Chad, we cut back to the internet, the information dissemination station. But Sark's, she's beeping and bopping, trying to get this other, vehicle going. This light vehicle that's connected to this beam of, information, if you will. Kind of like the personification of information. Or not personification, but just the physical manifestation of information, Chad. It's this long light beam. And so she's getting this going while all of Sark's men are trying to attack her, Chad. Tron is defeating them. He's hitting them and shit. Accidentally fucking hits Jeff Bridges, nearly knocks him off. And eventually some of them are like, all right, fuck, I'm not fighting Tron. Some of them just start killing themselves. The Solar Sailor, that's what it's called. The Solar Sailor. And like some of these guys are like, I want to fight. They just literally just jump to their doom because they rather die than have to fight Tron, which is like, see, Chad, he's fucking Jesus. You can't beat Jesus, all right? Can't do it. And so they just decide to kill themselves. And eventually the solar sail goes on, like, Sark's like, we will stop you. Whereas they don't. And it goes out there. Also, there's another scene where the grandpa from The Lost Boys talks to Dillinger, and he's very upset about how he's running the company, and says, like, listen, when I created Internet Pope, I didn't intend to use him as this. And Dillinger's like, I don't care. I'm the head of this company. I can do whatever the fuck I want with Internet Pope. He is under arrest. And he's like, well, to hell with you. I'd rather be working in my garage. Dillinger's like, I can arrange it. He's like, don't need to be nasty. And he leaves. I would be mean too, Chat, if my internet personification was Internet Pope and he was arrested, Chat, and tried with treason. Or at least on the grounds of treason. And so eventually, though, Jeff Bridges is like, help me. And Tron's like, Jeff Bridges, oh my God, it's you. And he takes him, he lifts him up. He's like, whoa, he's like super strong and shit. And he goes, and he hugs him. He like hugs him, Chat. He's like, oh, my friend. Wait, where is Ram? And he goes, oh, Ram didn't make it. And he goes, no, he is our brother. He is our fellow coding brother, our fellow programs. He goes, yeah, programs. And he's like, I would like you to meet my internet waifu, Yori. And fucking Jeff Bridges is like, Laura? And she's like, I am Yori. I disseminate information. He goes, yeah, but you look like Laura. She's like, you mean the goddess Laura, the one who created me, the user? He goes, yeah, that one, yeah. And she goes, oh, she must be beautiful. Does Her Majesty spread wide? He's like, yeah, well, I've seen her spread pretty goddamn wide. So yeah. Anyway, where the fuck we going? And he's like, we're gonna go and attack the main computer program, the MCP. He's got like a big Death Star-esque area. And they're like, oh, cool. Let's head over there then. And so they're just spending time and talking shit and talking chat. But oh no, because the upside down U's, they're coming for him, chat. And they take the same like path the Solar Sailor did. And they're like, well, we're going to get you. And at this point, Jim Bridges is like, I'm going to use my human abilities. And so what he does, Chad, he goes to the front of the Solar Sailor, and like it's this beam of energy and information, and he puts his hand inside of it and goes, no! And he shoots out into like another beam nearby, and it lifts the Solar Sailor up, and they go to that beam, while the residual shitty information from the Solar Sailor hits the upside down Hughes and kills him. And so Cody from the inside, exactly. It kills him, and so they continue riding that. But then chat, they're attacked by a fucking dreadnought, and ba boom, and it seemingly looks like Tron is killed. It looks like Tron is killed, and Jeff Bridges and Yori are taken on board the dreadnought, where they also meet Internet Pope. Internet Pope's there, and Sark says, listen, you gotta tell me what the fuck you guys are up to. Where is Tron? They say, oh, Tron died. And he goes, well, okay, that's good enough for me. Well, I want to let you know, Internet Pope, stop hugging Yori. Stop hugging her. He's not in his little turtle bubble suit anymore. He's just walking around with like these Tron robes. And he says, listen, I'm going to take Internet Pope. You guys are going to stay on here, and this is going to be digitized, and you're all going to die on here. It's going to be completely, like, just taken apart, and your coding will be non-existent. You're going to be deleted. But it's like Control-Alt-Delete, chat. It's the ultimate delete. It's like, bye, everybody. Take space. So, and Yori's just giving up because she lost her internet daddy, Tron. And, Jeff Bridges is, like, freaking out. But he's trying to find a way out. He's like, Yori, for the love of God, we can get out of this. I promise you. But she's all just distraught at this point. We then cut to the giant, mainframe of the MCP chat, of the main computer program. And he's like this giant red face, which is from South Park, chat. It's like, oh, and I understand the reference. Like the Jewish god Yahweh in South Park. He has that's the face he has is of the MCP. And so they lead all the internet popes. There's a ton of them, chat. There's not just one. There's a shit ton of internet popes. I guess they're more like internet cardinals in hindsight, and they all control their own pylon of information or giant skyscraper information, and they all go in there. And MCP's like, and it becomes that scene from Blade. Remember the original Blade, chap, where Deacon Frost lines up all the vampire lords and like sucks their essence from them. They all go inside of his tummy, and he becomes like the dark god or whatever. Same concept, where they line up all the internet popes, including the grandpa from the Lost Boys, and he starts sucking up their internet pope energy. She's like, yes, it's beautiful. But oh no, chat, fucking Tron shows up. Tron's there. And at this point, MCP is like, oh shit, if Tron's here, he could kill me. Sark, he's killing our men. Go out there and fight him for the love of God. And so Tron and Sark is like, Tron somehow survived the thing. I think he hitched a ride, and he just was always on the thing. He was like, I'm just going to hold on, not move. And so him and Sark engage in a duel. But we cut back to Jeff Bridges and what's her name, Yori, and Yori's just so sad because the ship's being digitized, and Jeff Bridges is like, Yori, listen to me, listen. He just starts shaking her. She's like, no, and she dies, though. But the thing is, though, Chap, because he is a user, and because he has the power of friendship and love, as I said before, Chad, he brings Yori back to life. And she goes, oh my God, are you a god? Are you a user? He goes, yes, I am. She's like, oh my God, put a baby in me. And she forgets about Tron for a second. And they control the ship. They control the ship, chat. Meanwhile, we cut back to the battle between Tron and Sark, chat. And Sark's like, you can't beat me, Tron. It's like, I've killed many programs like you for years. And Tron's like, I'm built better than you. My creator, my user is a better man than the MCP. And Sark's like, how dare you? And right because he heard that, chat, fucking Tron took advantage, and he throws his fucking cyber disc right into his dumb head, and just cuts it right down. He's like, oh, and all of his like computer bits fall out, and he's dead. And the MCP's like, oh shit, that's not good. And Tron runs up, and he's constantly trying to throw his disc into the MC. Like the MCP's got like, it's like a boss battle. It's got this revolving like shields, but there's like one little spot that doesn't have a shield, and he's constantly aiming for it, and MCP's like, oh shit, fuck, please don't hit that, please don't hit that, please. And he's constantly spinning, and then our popes are like, save us, Tron, save us. Meanwhile, we cut back to Jeff Bridges and Yori, and Jeff Bridges tells him, fucking direct the ship over the beam, because, you know, it's like a giant beam, chat. In the sky, it's a big old red beam, because he's sucking up all the internet pope energy. You create a beam when you do that. Thank you! Thank you so much. Wish over the follow you, my new Huckleberry. Hope you're doing very well. And so, he says, what are you going to do? He's like, I got to jump into the beam, but you'll die. He's like, I won't die. I have the power of friendship and love. And she goes, cool. And so she flies the ship over there, chat, and she goes over to him, and she's like, I wish you could have put a little internet baby in me, but that's okay. Let's kiss. And they kiss, chat. Like, Jeff, like, all right, fine. So Jeff Bridges kisses Yori, who he imagines, I think, is Laura, and he just throws himself off of the precipice, chat, and goes inside of the MCP. And the MCP's like, there's something inside me. And then he turns to blue. He's like, oh, because he's becoming Jeff Bridges, chat. Because Jeff Bridges is like putting something inside of him. And then all of a sudden, Tron spots the hole, and he goes, Rah! And he throws the laser disc, cyber disc inside the hole, and it goes ba-boom. And all the internet popes are like, oh, they open the side relief, chat, because their essence isn't being absorbed. And then, chat, we see what the MCP originally was created. Nabai, coming in there, extend your subscription all the way through March. Nabai, thank you so much for your generosity, good sir. Hope you're doing very well. Prince Nabai, chat. Good to see you. Cheers and salute. But he throws it right in there, and we see what the MCP is, chat. And it's just this old man just working on a typewriter, chat. It goes boop, 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 boop. And he fades into nothing. He fades into the darkness. Never be seen again. And ba-boom, he explodes. We then, all the internet popes walk out along with the grandpa from the Lost Boys chat, Tron and Yori. Yori doesn't mention the fact that she made out with Jeff Bridges. Now, bye. Hey. Thank you for giving a sub to Neo Outseeker. So kind, sir. So kind. Thank you for your generosity. But, you know, they all go out there, and they see the mainframe internet start to light up. Everything looks like a beautiful environment, a beautiful city, chat. The landscapes are filled with color once again, chat. The mainframe is no longer dead. It is alive with the spread of information, friendship, and love. And Tron and Yori, they kiss. Tron is held up as their hero, as their figure who will lead the mainframe to a better and free world. All hail Tron. All hail Tron. And then, chat, we cut And Jeff Bridges is recreated via ass, like, because they hit him in the ass first. And so it spreads. His ass spreads and his legs form. And he's brought back to the real world, chat. And because Tron's like, I got you, man. I got you. The fucking sheet of paper he needed that showed that Jeff Bridges was the original creator of Space Booper and Upside Down U and the Light Cycle Racer game. It shows it. It's like proof Jeff Bridges made this shit, not Dillinger. It's like, oh. And he's like, yeah, I did it. And then he meets up with Alan and Laura, and he's like, you won't believe what I fucking... It was crazy. It was fucking nuts. It was fucking nuts. Also, there's another... I forgot. There was another scene where Tron talks to Alan, and it's like, Alan, my God. Dear user, tell me what I must do. Yeah, just you know, put your laser disc inside the MCP. He's like, I will do that. And he did it, Chad. He did do that. But then we cut, they're all hugging. We then cut to Dillinger. He's been asked back to NCOM, Chad. He sits down and he sees his desk is lit up, Chad. The last fucking thing that the MCP, the main computer program, has to say to him, Chad. And that the information was released and that Jeff Bridges is going to tell the company end of line. Because every time he would like finish talking, the MCP would say end of line, and he's like, shit, I'm ruined, and you're gonna go to jail for a very long time. That's copyright infringement, man. You are fucked. You are fucked. He's gonna see you to oblivion. And then, we cut. And we're on top of the fucking NCOM building, and Alan is there along with Laura, and this helicopter comes in, and Jeff Bridges has been promoted to CEO of NCOM, chat. And he's like, yeah, and they all hug, chat, and they all go down there to fucking have some hookahs, and drink champagne. And that, my friends, is the 1982 Disney cult classic starring Jeff Bridges, directed by Salinger Tron. Yay! I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it, chat. Greetings, fellow programs, is exactly what they say. Oh, I jack your games, Dillinger, pretty much. Which Bad Boy says, ending this movie, is that Steven Lisberger only made 2 more movies after Tron. He hasn't been acting outside Came in Legacy. Yeah, well, apparently he's a producer on the 3rd film. I can tell you that much, chat. So the 3rd Tron film, I guess, is in production, maybe. And I think he is a producer. It's going to be called Tron Ares. It's being called Tron Ares, chat, but TBA. So I guess we'll find out when that's coming out eventually. And thank you, Mr. Pancake, for the host. As I say, guys, host mean a lot to me. Helps spread the word, the Revenants. They're going out there right now. Hopefully, not only get Revenants, but also Huckleberries. And followers, too. Somebody's like, yeah. So I hope you enjoyed that review, chat, for Tron. Listen, a lot of cool ideas in this movie. But it's just, man, the pacing's really weird. It's super, super cheesy. It's super cheesy. It's dated to a degree. But I understand why it has a special place in people's hearts. It's not a bad movie. It's not a bad movie. It's just not for me. I would probably give it a very high rental. Yeah, it's an entertaining high rental. That's for me. Hardball one, thank you for the lead scene, which is implied Tron and Yori have sex, was cut out to being weird. It just raised too many questions. It's the Blu-ray DVD would I knew it. I knew they were doing something. That's hilarious. Back to the only other Lisberger movie we're seeing is Animal Olympics, which Corey always shows all the time. For Olympics cartoon made in 1980. Yep. Oh, yeah. 1983. Nice. That's funny. There you go, chat. Yeah. And, Giant Sark. I'm sorry. So, chat, my apologies. So, I add this in the thing. So, right when MCP was fucking panicking, he just imbues the dead Sark program with all of his abilities, and Sark is like, I'm big now. And he's like a zombie giant, and he comes for Tron. He fights him until finally Jeff Bridges throws himself down in there, and he throws the laser. I forgot about Giant Sark. I forgot about that. Probably because it wasn't needed. I was like, you killed Sark. That was not needed to have him become a big derpy giant, but that's what they did. He's like, no. Thank you so much for the 100 biddies. Very kind. All the computer puns in Tron, maybe there's a lot of computer puns. There's a shit ton. The names even. Ram. All that. All the other ones. Yeah. Internet Pope has another name. I just like to call him Internet Pope. But it's made for a fun review, chat. But yeah, I give it an entertaining high rental, chat. That would be what I would like to give it. Oh, one of the coolest boss fights Game Awards too. Fair enough. Fair enough, chat. But as I said, guys, this was a very fun review. The reviews will continue, chat. The reviews will continue on. I will be jumping into X-Men Evolution, Episode 3, in a hot second, chat. So please entertain yourselves as I just refill my beverage. Stick around, you crazy kids. I'll be right back.